While working on building a site with a Framer, I started wondering, is it easy to add and manage a blog on the site? I decided to find out by diving into the CMS feature and quickly setting up a blog. After testing out, I was surprised. It turns out even better than I thought. With a CMS, you can easily add various elements like categories, authors, and description to your blog. You can design your blog layout, then connect those elements to your design seamlessly. Plus, for SEO, Framer allows you to configure essential settings like title and description, as well as more advanced text setting based on logical structure. This helps with the basic optimization for Google search visibility. In this video, I'll be using the Framer basic video I made earlier to build a site and then add a blog using the CMS feature. I will walk you through styling both the blog page and post page, and even show you how to optimize for SEO. If you're new to Framer, I recommend checking out the previous video on how to create a basic site first, then come back to this one for adding a blog. Alright, let's dive in. We're now in the editing screen of the site we created in the Framer basic video. Just a quick note, if you want to create a multi-page website, not just a single landing page, and also add a CMS blog functionality, you will need to upgrade to the basic plan. To check this out, click the setting icon in the top right corner of the editor. Then, on the left menu, click Plan. Here, you will see the basic plan, which allows you to add up to 150 pages and include a CMS functionality. So if you are planning to officially launch your site, consider upgrading to the basic plan. Let's head back to the editor now. To add a CMS for your blog, first click on the CMS at the top. Then on the left side, click on Add Blog. Now, you will be taken to the CMS editor and you will see 5 example blog posts have been added. Let's check out one of the example posts. Looking at the basic element, you will see the post title, slug, date, image, and contents, all the key components of the blog post, and you can edit them pretty intuitively. Next, let's take a look at how the blog page and post design are structured. Close this window and head back to the editor. On the left, you will see a new page called Blog has been added, which is the basic blog page with the example contents. If you want to view the individual blog post, click the arrow next to Blog on the sidebar. You will see the blog collection listed, click that. Now, you will be able to see the blog post template. Keep in mind that when you make change here, they apply to all the blog posts since it's using a template. Let's return to the CMS section by clicking CMS at the top again. As you can see on the left, this is called the collection, and the current blog posts are in the blog collection. You can add more collection by clicking the plus icon and design them in various ways across your site. However, with a basic plan, you can only create one collection, so let's focus on the blog collection for now. One of the great things about Framer's CMS feature is that you can freely add a new element as you need. Let's try adding a category. Click the icon in the top right corner. You will see a list of the different type of elements you can add. Click Option. Options allow you to preset choices that can be selected when creating each blog post. First, change the name to category. For the category option, let's add a marketing, design, consulting, and development. After adding all the options, you will see that all the blog posts are set to marketing by default. To change this for each blog post, first close the window and click on a blog post. Now you will see a category section, and when you click on it, the options we added will appear. Let's go ahead and set different categories for each blog post. Now, each blog post has a different category apply. And this way, you can add the element you want to your blog based on the type you need. So feel free to use this feature as needed. Let's now move on to editing the blog page based on this. Exit to the editor. Then on the left sidebar, click the blog page. As you can see, the current page doesn't have a header. To add one, first, go to the home page. Click on the header section. Then on the left, click the Layer tab. To copy the entire header section, click on Header section and then right-click. Select Copy from the Copy menu. Now, let's go back to the blog page by clicking on a Page tab. Click on the blog page. Right-click on the empty space and select Paste to paste the header. Now that we brought in the entire header section, let's drag it to the top of the page. We will also change the width of the section to fill. To remove the top padding, go to the Layers tab on the left. Click on the desktop layout. In the right sidebar, you will see the current top and bottom padding are set to 100. Let's change the top padding to 0. Now, we've successfully added the header, but if you check the menu, you will notice the blog link is missing. To add a link to your blog page, double-click the navigation component. Click on the contact menu item at the end, right-click, then select Duplicate. In the right editing panel, change the menu text to blog. To update the link, click Link to. Select the blog page. Now the edit is complete and we link the blog page to the menu. Let's exit to the blog page. To check if the navigation is working properly, click the preview icon in the top right. Click on the About page. Then click Blog again. The blog page is now successfully linked in the menu. Let's go back to the editor. Let's change the layout design of this blog post. You can create the entire blog page layout from scratch if you want, but we will use the pre-made design for this tutorial. To do that, click the Insert button at the top left. From Section, drag and drop the design you want and drop it into the empty space. We only need one blog card design from the section. Click on one of the blog cards. In the Layers tab on the left, you will see each design is part of the card layout. Click on card layout. Drag it out to separate it. Now, delete the remaining design by pressing the Delete key. First, since we don't need a button, click on it and press the Delete to remove it. The text above will be used as a title, and the text below will be changed to the post date. Click on the text and change it to the date. Let's update the date style by changing its color to a lighter gray using the color option. Next, change the weight to semi-bold. Set the size to 15 and the letter spacing to -0.5 pixel. Now, to add a category at the top, duplicate the date text. Drag it to the top. Change the text to category. For the category color, click on it and change it to the primary color. We've now completed the basic styling. Next, let's move the card design into the blog layout. First, click on the design that's already there. In the Layers tab, you will see that the blog collection is made up of blog list and blog item. Let's start by adjusting the width of the blog list. In the size section, the max width is set to 600, so let's change it to 1000. Now, to remove the existing blog design, select all the elements inside the blog item from the Layers tab and delete them. You will see that the previous blog design has been removed. Next, drag the new card design we created into blog item from the Layers tab. This will automatically create a 5 blog post because there are 5 example posts in the CMS collection. To adjust the layout, click on the blog list. Change the layout type to grid. Set the number of column to 3. Now we have a grid style blog design. Although gap of the 40 is set, you will notice it's not being applied yet. This is usually because of the width is fixed. To adjust this, click on the card layout in the Layers tab. The width is currently set to 320, so let's change it to fill. Now the gap between the blog posts is visible. To reduce the gap, click on the blog list again and set the gap to 30. Let's link the blog collection data. When an element is included in a blog item, it can be linked to the blog collection data. First, click on the image. In the field setting, click on the plus icon on the left. From the Set Variable menu, you will see the blog collection data options we checked earlier. Select Image. This will apply the image set for each blog post. Now, click on a category. In the Content section, click the plus icon. Select category in the Set Variable menu and choose Display option. The category we set for each post are now linked. You can also click Add a Transform to add any prefix or suffix text if needed. Now, click on the blog title. In the Content section, click the plus icon. Select Title from the Set Variable menu. You will see that the titles are correctly applied, but if a title is too long, it may affect the layout. To fix this, click on the title, and in the size section, select the min height from the input field. Set it to around 100. And this will keep the design consistent. Next, click on the date below. Click the plus icon next to Content. In the Set Variable menu, select Date and then choose Format Date. The date is now applied, and if you want to change the style, you can adjust it on the style by selecting different size and style as needed. We've now completed the blog page design. To ensure it looks good on other devices, click Breakpoint and add a tablet and phone. Since we are editing a pre-made design, you will see it display correctly across all devices. To check how it looks in real time, click the preview icon in the top right. When you resize the screen, you will see that everything adapts perfectly. Now, let's click on one of the blog posts. You will see that it takes you to the post page without any issues. Now, let's edit the post page. Go back to the editor. On the left, click the Pages tab and select the blog collection within the blog page. You will notice that, like before, the blog post page doesn't have a header. To add one, go back to the home page and copy the entire header section just like we did earlier. After copying, return to the blog post editing screen. Right-click on an empty space and paste the header. Drag it to the top of the page. Change the width to fill. To remove the padding at the top, click on the Layers tab and select Desktop. Set the top padding to 0. Next, to increase the contents width, click on the Contents area and check the layout in the Layers tab. The content is currently in a stack layout. Select the stack layout and change the max width to 800. As we did with the blog card design, you can create and customize each element freely and link them to build a post page. For this tutorial, we will make just a few simple edits to the default layout force feed. First, let's add a category and date above the title. The date is already in place, so drag the date element above the title. To duplicate the date, right-click on it and select Duplicate. Now, click the top date, and to link it to the category, click the X icon to remove the current content link. Then, click the plus icon and select Category on the Set Variable with the Display option. To place the category and date side by side, select both elements. Right-click and choose Add a Stack to group them. Change the direction to horizontal. To align the text to the left, change the Distribute option to Start. Next, select both text and set their width to fit content. Once they align to the left, we will adjust the spacing between the text. Select the layout that wraps both text from the Layers tab. Set the gap to 15. Now, click on a blog title. To left align the title, click the left align icon in the Align section. To reduce the gap between the category, date, and the title, select both layout and then blog title and add a new stack layout by clicking Add a Stack. Set the gap to 15. Now, click on the image. Since the image height looks too tall, let's reduce it. Click the input field on the side and select max height. Change the unit to fixed and set the value to 350. Next, let's check the blog content section below. This part pulls in the content written for each blog post from the blog collection, so there is no need to make change. On the right, you will see the content elements like heading, paragraph, and link with the styles already applied. These styles were created during the initial site design in the Framer Basic video. If you want to apply different style for blog post, even to the same tag, you can do so by selecting the tag and creating a new style under the new style. This allows you to adjust the font style as needed. To finish the editing the blog post page, let's scroll down and add a section where users can navigate to other blog posts. Click the Insert button at the top, and from Collection, drag the blog collection into the empty space. This will pull in blog posts from the blog collection. Editing works the same way as when we modify the blog page, so first, click on the image and press Delete to remove it. With all images removed, drag the blog post below the main contents area. The titles look a bit large, so click on the title. If there is a style applied, remove it. Change the weight to semi-bold. Set the size to 20. Now, to switch the grid layout, click Blog List in the Layers tab. Set the layout type to grid. To add a title above the blog list, click Text at the top and add a text recommended for you above the blog list. Change the color to black and the size to 24 pixels. To align the text with the blog list, select both elements. Right-click and choose Add a Stack. Set the max width of this layout to 800 to match the contents width. Set the gap between the text and the blog list to 35. To align everything to the left, set the line to left. Next, select the blog list in the Layers tab and change the fixed width to fill to make it span the full width. If you want to distinguish more from the contents above, you can add a border. To do this, click the entire layout. In the right-hand editing panel, click Border. Change color to a light gray. Close the color window. Add a padding value to 25. The style edits are now complete. Finally, if you scroll through the blog post, you will see that the current blog post is also displayed in the list, which means we need to apply a filter. Click on the blog list in the Layers tab. In the CMS Contents section, find the filter and click on it. In the Match option, you will see that all apply when all filter options match and any apply when any one condition is met. Click Add Filter, click Field and select Title. In Condition, choose Doesn't Equal. In Value, click the plus icon and select the title through the Set Variable. This ensures that only blog posts with a different title from the current post are displayed. As a result, you will see that the current post has been filtered out. You can use this method to filter posts based on your needs. To preview the edited blog post page, click the Preview button in the top right. You will see that the category and date are correctly displayed and the image has been resized appropriately. Scroll down to check other blog posts. and you will notice that the current post is excluded. You can click on any blog post link to check it navigate without issues. We now completed editing the blog post page. Lastly, for search engine optimization, let's do some basic edit to optimize the site. Return to the editor. Let's start by setting the tags for the blog post page. Using the proper tag like header, main, and article help Google understand your page structure better, which can positively impact SEO. When Google can easily grasp the structure, it can prioritize the most important section of your page. So let's begin by configuring the basic tag. First, double-click on a header component to open the component editor. The top section, which typically contains the logo and navigation, should be wrapped in a header tag. Click on Desktop. Scroll down in the right-hand sidebar to find Accessibility setting. Here, you can set a tag, select Header. Since navigation is usually wrapped in a nav tag, click on the menu, then select the links layout that wrap the entire menu from the Layers tab. Click on Accessibility at the bottom right and choose Tag. Select Nav from the available option. Since this is a component, updating it here will apply the change to all pages with this header. When done, return to the blog editor. Now, click on the blog title. You will notice that it's already set as an H1 in the accessibility section. The H1 tag represents the most important heading on the page and should only appear once per page. Since the blog title is the most important part of the document, it's correctly set as an H1. Next, to review the content setting, click on CMS at the top. Click on one of the example posts. The title here served as both the blog post title and the title that appear in the Google search result when someone searches for relevant keyword. This is why it's crucial to include an important keyword in the title and create a headline that attracts the click by addressing user needs. The slug below represents the URL of the post and is also important for SEO. It's recommended to include at least one keyword from the title in the URL. Below, you will see the thumbnail image. Click on the image and you will find the alt text field below. Alt text not only appear when the image failed to load, but it also helps Google understand the content of the image since Google cannot read the image. By providing relevant alt text, you help Google recognize the image relevance to the content, which can boost SEO. It's important to add alt text not only for the thumbnail, but also for any image uploaded throughout the post. Now, let's look at the content. A key point to keep in mind when writing content is the proper use of heading 2 to divide the post into subtopic and heading 3 for subheading within the section. You can even use heading 4 for deeper subheading as needed. Structuring content with headings make it easier for both users and Google to understand the layout and key point of your content. This is crucial for SEO, so be sure to use heading properly when creating your content. Close this window. To see how this post will appear in Google search results, click the setting icon in the top right. In the left sidebar, click on Page Setting and select Home. Here, you will see title, URL, and page description. When you fill this out, you can check how your homepage will appear in Google using the preview below. Let's fill them in as an example. You can see how the changes are reflected in the preview. If you scroll down, you will find the page image option. This is where you upload the image that will appear as a thumbnail when this page is shared on social media. Once you uploaded the image, click Save at the top to save your change. You can edit the blog page in the same way. Now, let's move on to the blog post page. On the blog post page, you will notice the difference compared to other pages. The title here is preset to title, which makes sense because this is a template for multiple blog posts. So the title will pull in the blog post title when the post is published. And as you can see in the preview, each post title appears correctly. The only thing we need to change is the site name. Let's change it to Step Steve as an example. Now, we need to add a description, but if you edit here, it will apply to all blog posts. Since each post needs its own unique description, we need to add that capability. First, click Save to save your changes. Then, click the back icon. In the CMS editor, click the icon in the top right to add a new element and select plain text. Enter description as the name. If you want to make sure every post has a description, change the required to yes. You can also set max length or add a text area if needed. Close the window and let's click on the first post as an example. You will see the new description section, and because it's required, there's a prompt to fill it out. Let's write an example description here. Once you have written it, close the window. Now, click the setting icon again. On the CMS variable, you will see the description we just added. Let's add it to the page in the appropriate format. If you look at the preview, you will see that the description we wrote is now reflected. Now, let's look at the page image. If you want to use the thumbnail image you set for each blog post when sharing on social media, click Choose Image. From CMS variable, select Image. Now, the thumbnail image is applied. Once everything is set correctly, click Save. That's it. We have covered how to use Framer CMS to customize both the blog page and individual blog post, and even how to do basic SEO optimization. I hope this video has been helpful for managing your Framer site. If you found it useful, please like the video and subscribe to this channel.